guys, welcome back for another video. I'm so happy that you decided to join me today. It is officially Spooktober, which means that it's that month of the year that allows me to go even crazier with my makeup. And today I thought, how about I show you guys how I go from this makeup look to a type of spooky skeleton type of vibe. We'll keep it glam. I think I'm gonna do like one side of my face because I like that idea. I'm just gonna take you guys along because it's been a while since I did like an actual makeup tutorial, an actual like talk through makeup tutorial, but I'll try to like explain it in detail, everything I'm doing. First off, what you need a certain amount of brushes. You need a brush like this that is wide but is very narrow in the application. Just a big blending brush because we're gonna apply a lot of powders to our face. Just a variety of brushes that you can make precision lines with, brushes that you can blend with. Just make sure that you got all the brushes you can get, okay? Just to make it easy for yourself. Then you also need shadows. You need a highlighter palette or a highlighter with a red toned highlighter in it. Then I'm also going to use this Pro lipstick palette because lipsticks are a good substitute for cream paints that make it very easy to lay a good base, especially when you're working with powders. And I would advise just using actual cream paints, but I don't have any, and I don't feel like messing around with water activated paint at this point, so I'm using these. And of course, you're going to need eyeshadow palettes. And whenever it comes to eyeshadow palettes, I would advise either this one, the Rainbow Splash palette from OPV Beauty. Oh my God, who keeps messaging me? Shut up. Because it has a big variety of colors. It's very pigmented. You got shimmers, you got your mattes, you got all of that good stuff. And if you're like, you know, I need a little bit more options, this is also a very good option. This is the EYN Bright palette from Beauty Bay. I think it speaks for itself why this is a good option to have in your collection. If you are starting out or if you really want to, you know, kind of do more creative, more fun looks, this is an amazing palette. It only costs 25 bucks, I believe. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first off, because I also will be, let's not touch the mic, including some chest work, I'm gonna put on a top, like a bandeau top. You wanna have this area exposed, but not, you know, let's keep it PG. So I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. So now I'm officially ready to get started. I got my mirror right here. Okay, so as you can see, I already got my base on. I already did my brows. I already did my eyeshadow. If you want to see how I did that, go check out my Instagram. So the first thing we want to do is start with the cream bases. So I'm going to go in with this flat brush from Wet n Wild. And I'm going to start off with a dark brown reddish color. And I'm going to start right here underneath my cheekbone. I just want to I want to keep that edge sharp, but you want to kind of blend it out towards the bottom. Let me get a little closer to you guys. There we go. I go all the way up to here, and then I make a curve downwards. So, and then you just kind of perfect it. Then you want to lighten the pressure you're putting on your brush and make small strokes downward so you start blending out that edge. You're going to blend it out more eventually with when you start using the powder, but it always helps, in my opinion, when your base is already blended. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, as you can see, I also did the other side. Just gonna blend that out a little bit more. I'm trying to make sure that I have a good balance in this video between clear and detailed explanation. But I don't want to make it too long. And what I do by my ear right here, I just blend it like so. It doesn't really matter. Just gonna do that on that side, obviously. Just blend it in with the rest so you get a nice smooth look. So I kind of sketched out the general shape of the eye socket, right? Now, I know I said I was only gonna do one side, but what I wanna do actually is do the bottom left and then kind of in a slope up. Hope that makes sense. So I did give my eyes that general skull shape. I'm just trying to kind of blend that in with my eyebrow and kind of perfect it. This is not, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. This is not going to be completely colored in. It's just going to be a kind of shadow, but you'll see it. You'll see what I mean when we get there. Now I have a makeup wipe, a dry makeup wipe laying in front of me. I'm taking some of the product off that brush. I'm just going to blend that edge a little bit, just like we did on the cheeks. But the blend here can be a little more rough because it is a more defined shape, I want to say. I'm gonna move over to my temple. And what I usually do is I just kind of follow my hairline. Just want to go down like this, and then you move it inward down to your temple, like so. And this is going to be a little bit different from the other sections we just did, because this is a section that is going to be completely colored in. Because I used to not do that, but it just looks kind of funny. It looks a little funky, I'm not gonna lie. Now it's time to give shape to our nose. And what I like to do is just right here, go all the way down, and then to the side of the nostrils. And what I do is I just twist the brush. That makes it all a lot easier. Keep in mind, this is just our base, right? We're gonna go over all of this with some beautiful shadows. So don't mind the roughness right now. And then a little lower, I'm gonna go do the exact same, like so. Start coloring in the tip of my nose. And we do that same twist motion with our brush. It just works the best for me personally. And then I just make strokes down the middle so these can connect. And that's pretty much our nose. So the only thing we have left now is the teeth. So what I want to do, I'm only going to do the right side. So I'm going to go like this, not too far. And then what you're going to do is make stripes. So again, don't worry about perfection at this point. I also like to make the stripes gradually longer. And I want you guys to keep in mind, this video is just a guideline. You could change anything you want. And I go right here, basically on the inside of my lip, and connect all that. Then I kind of connect the beginning of the teeth lines to that line in the middle that I just made. Like so. Okay, now we're pretty much done with the cream setting, and it's supposed to look something like this. Next up, powders. So I'm taking my Rainbow Splash palette from OPV Beauty, and I'm going in with the color Spring, which is words, which is a nice deep dark black. And I'm using a regular eyeshadow applicator. I'm gonna start right here. So right at that cheek that we made, and I make very light pressure, a nice back and forth motion. Just continue that all around the outline. Now here at the end, you just kind of flick the brush, get more of a faded look. See? You just make sure that everything is covered evenly. Okay, then I take my cotton pad again, clean the brush, and then I go and kind of soften that line. You're going over it, applying light pressure, just like you did with the outline. Now I'm going to take this big fluffy blending brush from Real Techniques. It's the medium shadow brush, and I'm going to dip into the color Storm, which is a nice deep dark red. Words so difficult today. And I'm going to go right underneath in a circular motion to obviously cover up the base we just made. I also like to get in my ear right there, and you want to make sure that you blend that in with the black you just applied. So now you've created this hollowed out cheek shape. I clean my brush and I focus on the edge, really making that blend soft. That's it. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now we've done that on both sides. It's time to move over to the, let's say, mouth. So I'm taking a more precise brush. This is the Real Techniques fine liner brush. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to approach this one a little bit differently, going into Storm, that deep red, immediately. And I can't really talk while doing this, so just pay close attention to what I'm doing. I think it kind of speaks for itself. You want this to be precise, but blended. So first start just applying. This does not have to be precise at all. You can get as messy as you want. We're going to go over those lines with black when we're done. So I'll just finish this up and I'll be right back. Now that we got that step done, we're going to dip into Spring, that nice black. Nope, I'm lying. What I was going to say is we're going to dip into Spring, but with our eyeshadow brush. I got it right this time. Okay, so what we're going to do is lightly dip into Storm, the dark red color, and go over those lines we just made. Now, make sure that your brush is clean because you don't want to add any black yet. That's better. Just blend it out pretty much. Not too much about this level, I would say. So it's still defined, but it's kind of smudged. Do that for all the lines on your mouth. Now we're gonna go back in with our fine liner brush and dip it in spring. And this, I'll just show you guys and I hope it makes sense. So you don't want to follow through to the whole line. We're basically shading here. Itchy. Yeah, like I said, we're basically shading. Like so. The biggest advice I can give for this is don't go too heavy on the product. Because you can always add more, but you can't take it away. You know, don't make it harder on yourself than is necessary. And this is what it should look like when you're done. It's a little more defined, little shading going on. It's a cute moment. The nose. Again with my fine line brush and the black color spring. Hope you guys can see. So for my nose, don't want to do anything too fancy. And just follow the outline that I already made. Make sure that that line is nice and crisp. She says while fucking up. I really hope you guys can clearly see what it is I'm doing, because I would not for the life of me know how to explain this. Okay, now I go with my regular eyeshadow brush and just pack it in there. And you're just gonna cover the whole nose. I'm gonna go back in with the eyeshadow brush, nose completely covered. I'm going with Storm. And right on that edge, I'm gonna blend it out. But you wanna make sure that you keep that shape, right? I'm not gonna focus on those points yet. We'll get back to that in a minute. If you guys can still see what I'm doing, just continue that all throughout the outline and I'll come back to do the other parts. Go back in with my precise fine liner brush. And gonna focus on that point right here and the inside right here. Like that. Now it's time for the right eye. Gonna go in and do exactly the same process as we did with the cheek. Now I've covered it with black, blend the edges with the shade Storm. So just a back and forth movement until you've done it all. Now that we've done that, We're gonna do the temple and then we're pretty much done, you guys. Temple, same story. Start with an outline of a black eyeshadow. Now, this last step is optional, but I think it really can, you know, like finish off a look. What you need is what kind of brush do I want to use for this? I think we're going to use a blending brush. And what I want to do is grab that highlighter I've mentioned before, and we're going to go into the red and just highlight certain areas, like on the nose, for example. I like to do that. Just very gentle, more of like a tapping motion. Instead of really blending it out, you know what I mean? Hope you guys know what I mean. And then like right here, the edge of the eye socket. Right here. Okay, now, like I said, this is also optional, the chest portion. I like to keep the chest a little softer, so I'm not gonna put a base. I'm just gonna go with that color storm and right underneath my, what is it called, clavicle. Right, like so. The initial application can be as messy as you want. Don't worry about it, because we're gonna make it cute. Just do that throughout all the muscles and veins you can find that are very obvious, I guess. Now I'm taking a bigger fluffy brush and kind of, yeah, blending it out a little bit more. Make it a little softer. Adding a little bit of shadow every time as I, go along. I hope it all makes sense what I'm saying, guys. Now, what I always like to do is grab my face powder and just set everything and get rid of that annoying greasy look that I get from time to time. Be careful though, not to mess up all your hard work. Make sure you pat and don't drag, and you should be fine. But still check your brush every once in a while. So this is pretty much what you're left with, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you liked it. I hope you guys are all gonna recreate it. I would call this simple, but don't worry if you're struggling with this and this is a little difficult for you, because it is an intricate look. but it doesn't require any type of weird skills or something like that. So I think this is something, if you really want to challenge yourself a little bit this Halloween, this is a nice thing to try. I really hope you guys can try and recreate it. Leave me suggestions on my Instagram, on my social medias, in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. I really hope I'll see you guys back next time, and happy Spooktober.